Good morning, or whatever it happens to be wherever you're at. But I wanted to put together something that everybody could take a look at to show you uh, one of the many things that is built right into the Google system. And again, I'm not a huge advocate for Google, other than it's a tool that we all can use. And if you're a Microsoft lover, it just fits hand in glove. You can continue to use Excel, Word, and all those kinds of things. Share them on the cloud and go on. So you can download it or upload it as a regular Microsoft type of a file. So the assignment we had last week was to build a presentation and collaborate with some of the people that had been assigned to you. And I just wanted to address some of the concerns that some of you have brought up. I was really proud of you. It's not the easiest thing to do, and that's one of the reasons I gave you 2 weeks to do it. Getting together and getting organized is it's hard to do, and it takes some practice. And we just kind of throw people together a lot of times, and we assume that they can collaborate, but it's actually a skill that you learn. And so don't put yourself down or anything like that if you didn't do it perfectly. You can get better, and if you approach it intentionally, you can master it. And in fact, working with others is something that is valued in our culture and worldwide, actually. So if it's something that you can excel at, then I mean, all of us have that ability. We just have to approach it a little bit different. But anyway, I wanted to, a couple of you said, well, I don't know how to grade somebody else. That was one of the other questions about this assignment, because it's required of you to grade your other people in your group. Well, there's something built right in to any of these, whether it's presentations, sheets, or your documents, that you can take a look at. And I'm going to show it to you right here. If you go File, and then you move right down here to see Revision History, here on your right hand side of your screen shows all the revisions that have been done to this particular presentation. On presentation, it doesn't give as much of a detail than some of the, whether you're talking about documents or sheets, but I can go back to any one of these prior versions of this particular file. If we go, this one here was a PowerPoint presentation that I uploaded, and I'm using one of my classes, but it would have been April 24th, 2016. And we could actually go back to that particular, what it looked like back then. Very powerful thing, especially if you got a bunch of collaborators and somebody gets in there and inadvertently messes things up. You can go back to any other version that you have had. The other part about it is, I know I'm the only one, the author of this particular presentation, and the only one that has worked on it, but it will show you who worked on it and when they worked on it. So that's one way that you can go back and determine whether or not your classmates actually worked on the presentation and which slides they worked on, and those kinds of things. So go in there and just kind of fool with that a little bit. Let's look at a sheet right here, and if we do the same thing with that particular sheet, we go to Revision History. You see that on April 5th that I was the author of this particular spreadsheet, but we've had Tyler Reagan, he's my colleague here in the Ag Business Program. He was working on it April 8th, and then again Tyler was working on it again on the 11th. So we have several different versions of this particular sheet, and the other part is you can see more detail if you write down in here. I can't see it because of my picture, but you can also get a whole lot more detail as far as if you want to go back to a different version, that because Google saves things on a continual basis, you have access to a lot of things, and you can see who authored what as a part of each one of these files. So it really a powerful thing. I would say this too. I probably don't use it as much as I should, but I do check this just to make sure that those of you, those in this class are authentic. And what I mean by that, you're not just taking somebody else's assignment and making it your own. You know, we call that cheating in the academic world, and I know that the most of you wouldn't do that, but it doesn't hurt to trust but verify at times, and you can do that through this particular version of Google. So anyway, I hope that helps. One last thing, I have mentioned it to a couple of you. This was a 2-week assignment, so it's pretty tough to give you points if you're one of those people that waits to the last minute and didn't get in there on Sunday. In the instructions, it said, if somebody doesn't do their job, I do expect this to be done, and I meant that. That's kind of similar to if many of you have jobs, and you probably understand that even better than I do. But it's a task that was given with a deadline, and it needed to be done. And if you wait till the last minute to do things, like some of you have a tendency to do, it's okay if you're working by yourself, but you will get caught. It's just where the chips fall sometimes. So if you're worried about your grade, get in early and often, and especially if you're working with other people. To be a good collaborator, you're going to have to be a good communicator, and you're going to have to check in and talk to people and communicate with people on a regular basis. So if you're one of those that wants to just work in isolation, this may not be the right tool for you, but I would say that you will go a long ways if you master a collaborative type of system in our culture. So anyway, I'm not trying to lecture you, but a couple things, and hopefully you can use that revision history within the Google programs. It's really quite a powerful type of a tool that you can use. So I'll bid you adieu, and if you have any questions, just give me a holler. I respond to telephone calls, and telephone actually leads to, usually you have a question, and then I maybe answer it, hopefully answer it, and it leads to another question. So it's somewhat more effective than email, but I do try to answer emails as well. So, okay, take care.